What up, Libra? This is Anthony Memorial, and I am the Hoodie Tarot here to deliver the good news to you. This is going to be your September 2002 reading, and we just going to get into it like this. But first and foremost, thank you for checking me out. Second of all, it's a general reading, so if it doesn't apply, that's cool. But if it does, but you want to know a little bit more, go ahead and hit me for your personal reading, okay? So that's all I got to say about that. Let's go ahead and get into it like this, okay? So, Libra, your season isn't too far at the time I'm doing this reading. You got a little bit, but you're preparing, right? And so the preparation might feel like, ooh, shit. Because Virgo season is not like Libra season in any way, shape, or form. So holding yourself accountable is going to be a big theme about this month, right? 12th house shit. Okay. And so, that being said, the subconscious is bringing out a lot of ugly and muddy things. Nonetheless, though, by the time it is your birthday season, it's going to be very beautiful. So what are we working on? All right. Wow. Crazy. I just said it's not like Virgo season, but Virgo got this card and you got this card for your spiritual advice. What are the chances? Third chakra. Okay. Now, a little bit different than the Virgos, because the Virgos have the sun in their first house. You've got the sun in your 12th house. So what's being highlighted is a lot of fear, is a lot of hidden shit. And so it could be fear, it could be anger, it could be disappointment, it could be resentment, it could be a lack of confidence in certain aspects of yourself. And so depending on how you maneuver, depending on how you want to navigate this season, is going to dictate the outcome, or I would say the vibration of the rest of the year. You know, it's very pivotal in a way, because what's on the line here, first of all, is mental health, along with spiritual health, okay? And so if you feel confident in those aspects, then you're good to go. But if you don't, it will be shown in this very specific, very get your shit together type of season, okay? And I feel like I should just call that, I feel like this is, the name of this reading is going to be called Get Your Shit Together. Now, if your shit's together, you might as well skip the whole reading. If there is something that is not right, if there is something that is not tight, you might want to stay, because we're going to chop it up, all right? So let's talk about the spiritual advice, all right? So for spiritual advice, we have the Knight of Cups, all right? I like this because the Knight of Cups is the hopeless romantic. He is the due diligent creative. He is the intuitive, but then also sensitive and understanding soul. And so for a very intellectual and Venusian sign, that is very intellectual, but then also has the bad reputation of the lower frequency, which is flighty, and one of somebody that can't dedicate and can't follow through with the more emotional, trying, and intense type of situations. This is a time for you, Libra people, to fall in love with what is falling in love with you. What is giving to you, what is nurturing you, is what you should pour yourself into. What is not, what is further pushing you into the dark, what is further pushing you to the lower frequencies that I named before, the resentment, the fear, etc., etc., that is not something that you need to, who this person, this Knight of Cups, lower frequency, that is not something you need to self-sacrifice for. There isn't a need to fall on one sword. There isn't a need to go to the absolute depths and bottom to try to win the affection or to try to win the situation. Now, knights are the badasses, and yes, they do fight, but however, it's not about fighting, it's about confidently moving towards the emotion. It's about confidently acknowledging what is loving you back, even if that love is here and it isn't coming from a place or source or a job or anything that we anticipated nor expected to do so. Okay. And so you are going to be feeling very um, amorous. It is going to call for you to need the words and to need the affirmation and to need the pats on the backs and the good job done and so forth. But however, if it doesn't, or I would say, if it isn't giving you that in this moment, chances are it will not. And so, being open to new sources, being open to being the source is going to be a big part of this month. Okay. Now, in terms of love, we have the Queen of Swords. All right. The Queen of Swords is very, very, very particular in the just, right? And so, what I mean by that is, in terms of love, if you have a relationship that is needs some tweaking, like I said, it's time to get your shit together. I feel like for a lot of you Libras, you've expressed or you're going to be expressing a very firm boundary, a very firm truth, all right? Or your partner can be giving you some heavy truth. So, depending on whether or not you've held yourself accountable in your relationship, is going to dictate the reality moving forward. Now, in the best case scenario, you did hold yourself accountable. And so you will be the one laying the law, so to speak, out of love, confidently doing so because for some of you, this is a moment of confidence simply because if you're giving one the choice to either adjust, change, evolve, do better, and you realize the risk is them choosing not to, then you can confidently walk away from the situation because you know that you have looked at expressing oneself not purely out of ego, but out of a way of being fair, you know? And so, in all fairness, if somebody doesn't or isn't along with the plan, knowing that this so-called loss or this so-called change is only going to open up new doors is very good. Now, worst case scenario, you haven't held yourself accountable, and so where are you at now? Well, most likely, it is going to call for you to um, most likely find a confidence in letting go of very egoic feelings and thoughts. It's going to call for you to forgive. It's going to call for you to be a lot more softer and understanding and be open to your partner telling you about yourself, especially if they're a good partner. I mean, they'll do it out of love, but they'll do it in a way as how it should be. I mean, as an Aquarius, I can appreciate somebody that allows me to tell them about themselves, but it will tell me about myself, especially when I'm fucking up. And so you might get that communication, and it might give you the challenge of having to confidently, again, look at how you can do better to rise to the occasion, so to speak. All right. Now, in terms of love, we have the Knight of Wands. Ooh wee. So I feel like a lot of you, in essence, are going to be fighting for a relationship. Um, I do feel like two nights, I feel like that's, you know, it's going to battle. It really is, and it's out of passion. It's out of love. Seeking validation is another, I would say, more lower frequency of the Libra, um, versus a Libra in power who understands their place, is firm in who they are, and therefore very natural in understanding what meets the standard, what doesn't, in terms of love. Now, that being said, while love is very a part of your reading, in terms of finances, the Knight of Wands is for finances. You're gonna be ignited to get your money right in some way or fashion, and I don't feel like a lot of your couples are fighting over money, but I will say that you'll be given the ignition to move towards something, to move towards projects, to go after things that you've been ready for. All right. And that being said, this is a time to really dig into the Knight of Wands energy, which is calculating, but then also fierce. And so, if we're thinking in terms of a fighter, this isn't somebody that is purely technical. Their skill set is in drive. And so, with money, you will be able to, it's like you got a turbo. It's like you got extra gas to go. You know what I'm saying? So you can find yourself really being drawn to conquer bigger projects, to pursue higher goals. But this is about what's ignited, what's passion. This isn't about the more safe bets. It's not about really pouring yourself into what has always worked. It's about, okay, if it's difficult, it probably is worth your time. If it's something that seems far fetched, it's something that should pull you. If it's something that purely just pulls at your heartstrings and it's something you want to do because you know you deserve a certain lifestyle, or you deserve that trip, or you deserve that title, this is a time to really dig into it, because whatever is happening in the love space, right, especially if it's like, well, I just got to come back to me, if it's like I gotta take all this on my own, I gotta look out for my own, I'm just coming out of a relationship, it's that's your ignition. If it's I want to be this figure, I want to have this for my family, I want to have this with my partner, there's your ignition. But you're going to find the gas. And again, it is about getting your shit together. And so, with all of this 12th house challenging energy in terms of confidence and self worth and knowledge of self and those type of themes, be gentle and soft with yourself, but then also be really real about what it is you want, because the fuel is there, the gas is there. The things that are being highlighted are not to punish you, but it's to get you more dialed in on where you're going. Okay, Libra? So that's what I got for you. Finna do this extended. If you want it, go and hit me. It's just $22. You can hit me in the Venmo, the PayPal.